Niners, baby! Get the dub on Monday Night Football versus Carolina 20-19, and we need to talk about it. Christian freaking McCaffrey. That's the only name I really need to say tonight. 142 yards and a touchdown on 31 touches. That's 89 yards in the ground and 53 yards through the air. McCaffrey had another McCaffrey-like game. Kittle had 78 yards through the air. Brian Robinson Jr., not only did he convert a couple first downs, but he also got 40 yards rushing. I like that we're implementing him into the game as the year has been progressing because he's a tough tackle. Juwan Jennings had 5 catches for 41 yards. It's always third and Juwan. And he caught the first touchdown pass of the game, actually. He broke 3 tackles and got into the end zone. The first half was weird because after that beautiful first drive where we gave CMC the ball 7 times, maybe 9 times in multiple ways, and then Juwan Jennings broke those 3 tackles and got into the end zone. After that, Brock was struggling. And it was only like halfway through the first quarter, through the second quarter struggle, because he didn't struggle like that in the second half. But there was this moment where he just wasn't seeing the field and he was trying to rush things. He threw an interception and he was trying to get it to Juwan Jennings, but it was just ever so slightly behind him in a way in the middle of the field where it needed to be dead on. And it wasn't. And J.C. Horn was trailing, and J.C. Horn is a Pro Bowler, if not all pro, and he undercut it and he intercepted it. It was a great defensive play. Could have been a better pass. The second interception, it was in the red zone, which that pisses me off, but oh well. Brock probably could have ran for the first down. He probably could have threw it to George Kittle for the first down, who's also in front of him, but he saw Pearsall Jackson undercut the route at the perfect time, right when Pearsall's about to catch it. Great defensive play. Interception number 2. Again, he didn't have to throw that. He had 2 better options. He just really wants things sometimes, and he goes for it, and it costs us. Well, the third interception, because Brock threw 3 in the first half, and it's crazy, it wasn't even on him. It was quite literally just an incredible play by J.C. Horn, because he threw to the right portion of the field, and J.C. Horn was guarding nobody over here, so he just followed Brock's eyes and came all the way across the field and intercepted the ball. They were glazing it hard, on the broadcast, as they should have though, because it was a great play. After that, we're entering into the second half, and you could tell Kyle Shanahan and whomever else sat down with Brock, and they realized, hey, breathe. Let's come back down to earth. You made a couple bad throws, but besides that, we're cool. Because outside of that, he was finding the open man. He was buying time with his feet. He was moving the pocket, but those 3 throws went to the other team. Freaking sucked. So his stat line wasn't great at all. 23 of 32, 193, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions, 58.5 QB rating. Not a great game, but do I care? No. Ultimately, because we got the dub. That's all I care about is the freaking dub. Dub City. That's all I care. That's all I care about. Our defense played great tonight. Jair Brown, of all people, got 2 interceptions. That's fantastic. Malik Mustafa led the team in tackles with 7. Upton Stout also had 6. Jair Brown had 5. I was wondering why the heck Curtis Robinson was starting at linebacker when Nick Martin last week in limited snaps had like 7 tackles. Very limited snaps when Tatum Bethune went out, and Nick Martin caused a fumble on the opening kickoff of the second half on special teams. He also had a very hard hit on special teams in the fourth quarter. So he's flying around, headhunting, and I'm curious as to why he's not in there if Tatum Bethune's not in there. Like, what the heck is happening in practice in which he's not going to be the starter and getting some meaningful reps with Tatum Bethune out? Like, that is weird to me. But oh well, we won. And our defense, like I said, played great. Bryce Young had just come off of a game where he had threw for 440 yards and won in overtime. And tonight he only threw for 169, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. So no quarterback had a good game tonight at all. It was a defensive matchup. Rico Dowdle, who has actually had a great year, and he's on the cusp of breaking 1,000 yards rushing, only had 38 yards rushing tonight. Mind you, he also only had 6 carries. And Rico was also their leading receiver with 36 yards. But outside of that one Tate McMillan beautiful route that he ran and ended up getting a touchdown out of it, Carolina really didn't do anything in the passing game. Diamonor Lenore, Renardo Green, Malik Mustafa, Jair Brown, Pinnock. Our secondary was playing great tonight. And we did get 1 sack in the fourth quarter, which was like freaking finally. But Bryce Young was under pressure all night long. We were forcing him out of the pocket and forcing him to scramble or forcing him to move it, or he was going to lose it all night long. So I wish we could have executed on those sacks, but at least we were getting pressure on him all night long, which led to him not having a good night at all. The Panthers also were battling injuries. They had like multiple people out with a concussion. Their right guard got hurt. There were like at least 4 injuries in that game tonight. So, man, the Panthers fought hard. I'm not going to sit here and act like we just murdered them or anything like that. They fought hard. But this is what football's going to look like for the next month. Hard-fought victories if you get a victory. and a hard-fought loss if you lose. The Niners now travel to Cleveland, which is about 45 minutes away from me, of which the Niners have not won in Cleveland Browns Stadium since the 90s. I am going to be there. If weather permitting, I'll make this video in Cleveland Browns Stadium next week. But right now, and honestly, going to be an interesting game because Myles Garrett is kind of unblockable right now, and Shedeur Sanders is going to be starting. No matter what you think or feel about him, the energy in that stadium is going to be electric because of him. And the Browns defense is freaking for real. So we'll talk about that game when we get there. Right now, Niner Nation, bask in the glory of this victory. We now have 8 wins. If the season ended today, we'd be in the playoffs, and that's all that matters. So tell me your thoughts down below of this game, whatever you want to talk about, and I'll talk to you down there. Like this video, and until the next one, peace!